Hey guys, and welcome to my review of episode 6, 7 and 8 of the Grand Tour. First of all, I should explain to maybe any potential subscribers or current subscribers, not as many of you, that normally I would just review each episode individually, at the start of each week or whatever. However, I've been away and haven't been able to do YouTube, and I haven't been able to do any other videos either, so I'm gonna review the episodes I've been since. Now, why not? So, let's get started on that. So, episode 6, which came out on the 23rd of December, I had time to watch it before I went away, but I didn't have time to do a video before I went away. So, episode 6, the tent was in Finland, and overall, I would say episode 6, at least for me, was one of the better episodes that they've done. Maybe not as good as the one in Italy, but which was episode 3, but this is possibly one of the best ones yet. So let's talk about what they did in the episode. So, one of the main films, there were two main films in the episode, and a lot of it was just talking about Christmas. So, they were testing, Hammond was testing probably his favourite car, the right-hand drive Ford Mustang. Right-hand drive. It's quite new for Mustang, because normally it's left-hand drive because it's American. And that was a big deal for Richard Hammond. And he was going to take it on a tour of the UK. He went to London, he went to Stonehenge. It was quite cool to watch. However, it was ruined for him, but maybe not so much ruined for everyone else, by Jeremy Clarkson. Yes, that was me talking in his voice-ish. But yeah, he came in a Ford Focus, I think, a sporty Ford Focus, to try to race him just to annoy him. And yeah, Richard Hammond wasn't pleased and kept trying to escape and everything. And I like it when they showed the chemistry between presenters on the show. Okay, May wasn't there at that point, but I like it when they did that. Really, that's a big part of the show for me. And that happened there, so making it a good episode. And when they were in London, Richard Hammond had a jibe, Chris Evans' version of Top Gear, because if you remember, the BBC got a lot of trouble because Matt LeBlanc was power sliding and drifting around and doing donuts around the Cenotaph in central London, which is the memorial for the soldiers who died fighting wars for Britain. And yeah, so when Richard Hammond drove past there, he sort of said, "I'm going to slow down and show some respect," which is good, but it was mainly to have an attack on the BBC. Let's be honest here. And yeah, the second main film in the episode was James May. He was talking about the history of Le Mans, sort of in connection to the Ford GT and Ferrari. Historical, that's something it was more to learn something rather than entertaining. Got to drive the cars. We saw some old footage. It was good. He's done sort of interesting films on Top Gear like that, and now he did it on the Grand Tour. So it won't be remembered forever as one of the best films, that one, but it was good to watch. And obviously then we had Kimi Raikkonen as in the celebrity brain crash. He drunk himself to death. But as we know, Kimi Raikkonen's known for drinking, so maybe this time was slightly more funny. But yeah. And then the rest of the episode was taken up by talking about Christmas gifts. And yes, they had 3 jumpers that had McLaren P1, Jaguar E-Type, and Nissan GTR, and the way it looked, with buttons undone, whatever. Yes, it did say penis, we know, let's move on. And then they also had, condoms with logos from the quotes on the presenters, so on Jeremy Clarkson, it may have said, "How hard can it be?" Which, you understand that for yourself, let's hope. So yeah, I would rate this episode quite highly, maybe second highest of all the episodes so far. So now, let's get on to episode 7, which was the first part of the Namibia special. They were going across Namibia in beach buggies. which very simple cars based on the Volkswagen Beetle, which they hate, had an engine from there. And yeah, like James May had a very simple beach buggy, not very powerful, but you know, it was okay. Clarkson put a V8 at the back of his beach buggy, which was classic Clarkson, I would say. And Richard Hammond has sort of made more of an off-road car, really. But all of it was again good to watch. However, the first episode, it was okay, but it was maybe a little bit boring, because they're basically doing the same thing the whole time, driving across a beach and the desert, which very samey, I would say. And yeah, there was obviously there was the classic, arguing between the three of them, which, as I said, I love to watch. And the views there were amazing, and yes, they nearly drowned because the tide was coming in, and they nearly got stuck in the water, which would be bad for them. And Clarkson tried to navigate using the stars, which didn't go well. That was one of the logos. That was one of the slogans of one of the condoms, I think. Didn't go well, but whatever. I need to stop talking about that now. And yeah, so the views were amazing, the presenters were amazing as well. However, it just wasn't right. Both episode 7 and 8 over 8 was better, as I'll come to soon. It just wasn't. It was definitely not as good as in Argentina or the Middle East or India or Burma or Bolivia, or even the Vietnam special or the USA special on the BBC. It just wasn't quite as good. It was better than Chris Evans, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't as good as it maybe could be. And that is a theme going through the hologram tour, to be honest, and it has to be worked out why. Like, thankfully, at the end of episode 7, the future of episode 8 looked a bit brighter, because they actually found the road after doing some crazy off-roading. That was good. Use some crazy hills down there. Sometimes they're doing it in the dark, and when they slept they had to sleep by their engines for warmth, because at night it got very cold. So yeah, it was okay to watch. As I say, it wasn't brilliant. Now let's talk about better things. Episode 8. Obviously, on the road they did some more funny things. The chemistry between the characters really came through. They did an interesting thing when they wanted to shoot the poachers, who who shoot the animals and sell parts of the animal for crazy amounts of money in Vietnam, apparently.
The suspects are now under arrest. Bring them for processing.
And that was interesting, but I feel like that's just maybe they're running out of ideas. That's a bit of a crazy idea. Why is it really for them to be doing that? And Clarkson ended up shooting Hammond. We don't know if this is true. And then, when he was a bit slow waking up in the following morning, they attached a helicopter to his beach buggy, and he woke up when they were flying in the air, which and the classic them shouting. Then you had all the other tricks between Clarkson and May. Clarkson changed the gear stick in May's beach buggy to look like a penis. Enough said about that, I think. And then James May fiddled with the aerodynamics on Clarkson's car as revenge, and then Clarkson's car fell apart a lot. That beach buggy was particularly unreliable this time. Overheated a lot, but he fixed that eventually. And they kept coming apart, and when the bolt came out, he hammered in a screwdriver to hold parts in place, which I guess was clever-ish. But I would say, though, the beach buggies just didn't have the chemistry of some of the vehicles they've used in the past, like Oliver in Botswana, the Opel Kadett, which Richard Hammond famously called Oliver for some reason in the Botswana special. That's a lot. Must have, what, 10 years ago now? Wow. So yeah, it just didn't have, just didn't have the same chemistry with the cars. Just wasn't as good. And it seemed, and then the Clarkson and May did luxury camping while Hammond did simple camping. I don't know, isn't that a little bit maybe showing off in Namibia, which is, a poorer country? Is that right to be doing? But then again, it's Clarkson, so he'll just do whatever he wants. As he said at the start of the very first episode, episode 1, he can basically do whatever he wants, and he can, pretty much. But James May was guilty of this too, to be honest. Yeah. I didn't like that part, I thought it was really disrespectful. But it wasn't the main part of the episode, so we can't judge it on that. It did look a bit, episode 8, the second part was better. We had to build a cable car at the end to get to the beach. I'm not going to tell you what happened, but it was maybe quite funny. But yes, I never actually said what the full challenge was. You have to cross Namibia to get to the Angolan border, beach by the Angolan border. I should have said that at the start of this video when I started talking about this episode. That was silly of me, but whatever. Let's keep going. And yeah, I won't tell you what happened at the end in case you're still going to watch it. Right. Then again, I wouldn't. Thankfully, it wasn't too long. With 2 episodes combined, what, an hour and 45 minutes, roughly. It wasn't too long. But I think had it been any longer, it would have got a bit boring. But I guess constantly the cars, falling apart, beach buggies. Why do I keep saying cars and beach buggies? All of them falling apart made it a bit more entertaining. But yeah, it could have been very boring. I really hope the Grand Tour, they get some of their form back. By this time next year, and there's another special. Who knows what it'll be? But I hope it's a lot better, and that's something to really look forward to, hopefully. Anyway, the background gameplay in this video, if you're still here, which according to analytics, the vast majority of you aren't, is Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I bought this game over the break when I was away, and I'm loving it. So, but I'm not playing on capture card. Why do people always say on camera? The other gaming YouTube. Why do they say that it's a capture card? But if you want me, I can start the game again. I'll happily do that and do a series. If you want that to be a thing, tell me in the comments, or tell me on Twitter at bgaming342 to tell me, and I'll happily do it. For the background gameplay of the Grand Tour videos, would you rather more of this, or go back to GTA, or just some F1 gameplay or something like that, or just pictures from the Grand Tour? I don't know exactly how to do that, but I'd work it out. Anyway guys, we are soon coming towards the end of this video. I know many of you aren't still here, but please like or dislike if you have to. Please leave any comments about the Grand Tour or anything at all, running it sensible. And please subscribe, I'd really appreciate that, because it makes it worthwhile for me to do these videos if someone actually subscribes. So I hope you really enjoyed the video, and I'll see everyone here very, very soon for another review of the Grand Tour, which will be episode 9. Goodbye!